Hey, Zach.
Hey, Alex.
And welcome, everyone, to the Pokemon Power Podcast. Zach and I were talking about Kirk Franklin and how he has abandoned Kirk Franklin and how I'm angry that Zach no longer supports Kirk Franklin.
Oh my gosh. I watched the video that you share. I say, that's a good song. I just haven't been listening to the same video on repeat all day long. Him standing on the tiny desk for NPR.
Yeah, Kirk Franklin has a very nice video for NPR if you want to watch that. But before you watch that, watch this. The Pokemon Power podcast on YouTube or your podcast subscription service that you can get it from. Let me do the like and subscribe theme song. Like them, subscribe them, and follow them. Leave a review where you don't yell. Pokemon Power Podcast.
I thought we were doing it lower. I thought that was the new way that we were doing it.
Like them, subscribe them.
No, you already missed it. It's fine.
Leave a review where you don't yell. Pokemon Power Podcast.
That was better.
Go lower?
Now it's and lower.
And lower. Welcome to the Pokemon Power Podcast. Real quick before we get too far into this, I must issue an apology time. We haven't done an apology time in a while. Real quick, I just want to say I will never again compare the plights of man to the plights of Pokemon. It's inappropriate and should not take place. But with that in mind, it's time for This Week in Pokemon News. Zach, remember how last year there was that big election for the president of the Kanto region?
Yes.
It was between the existing president, Giovanni from the Rocket Party, and then the challenger was Cyrus from the Galactic Party.
Yeah,
Cyrus was he's like, hey, you got these Pokemon in cages. We're above that as a country. Well, I got great news. Cyrus from the Galactic Party is eliminating the cages. He's now set up Pokemon daycare centers. I'm sure these Pokemon are going to be well taken care of. Great job,
no longer
Cyrus.
Cages, they're just simply fenced in with beautiful fences.
Also, no one knows what the kids are doing. The guy who's running this Pokemon daycare center, he keeps saying, I don't know how this kid got here.
How long have they been here? I don't know.
Go walk 1,000 steps.
Come back after you've walked 1,000 steps. Anyway, how long is that? I don't know, 1,000 steps.
You got to get on your bicycle. That's how you play the game. Anyway, we will never talk about Pokemon and compare them to people any longer.
Perfect.
Zach, it's a big day. We're recording this right now on Chicago time, Central Time. It is 10:40 p.m. on February 25th, meaning that this time, 12 hours from now, we will have seen a Pokemon Presents, which is essentially Pokemon's Direct, the Nintendo Direct specifically about Pokemon, because we're celebrating Pokemon's big 25th anniversary.
25th.
And immediately Pikachu is going to head over to his local car dealership and rent a vehicle without any surcharges. What a wonderful thing for Pikachu. I'm very proud for him.
Proud of him.
But it is the Pokemon Presents tomorrow. We don't really know anything about it other than when it's airing. So it could be anything. They could talk about a lot of Pokemon stuff. They could talk about almost nothing. But we thought we'd make some predictions. And by the time you most likely will watch this, that will almost already have happened. But hey, then you can see us with 2020 vision and know how stupid we are.
Yeah.
So I always like that anyway. But
I'm
Zach,
pretty sure if they've watched more than 1 minute of this, they already know how stupid we are. So
no, they're going to go watch that Kirk Franklin video and know how smart I am and know how dumb you are for abandoning him.
Yep.
Zach,
checks out.
What are your hopes for the Pokemon Presents?
All right, so I think they're gonna talk about Pokemon. That's my first prediction.
Coming out the gate swinging.
I think we're gonna get a better look at Pokemon Snap, and there's gonna be one other big Nintendo Switch Pokemon reveal.
Okay, and I agree with your second statement that there is going to be one big Pokemon Switch reveal. Any guesses what that might be?
It's going to be Pokemon Dungeon 3.0.
Okay, Pokemon Dungeon 3.0, following in the series Pokemon Dungeon 2.0 and 1.0. So we're getting the third entry in a non-existent series. All right, I'm fine with that.
No, whatever it is. You remember
the Mystery Dungeon series is my guess.
Series. Yeah,
okay, so actually I got that down too. I came up with a bunch. I think this is going to be somewhat longer. I think we're still going to get a Pokemon Presents kind of presentation in late May or early June, as we have in the last several years. But I think, it's their 25th anniversary. That's a big one. On my 25th anniversary, I'm going to announce some video games for my wife. So here's my predictions.
Yeah,
I think we're going to get an update on the Detective Pikachu sequel. I think the movie. I think we'll get
smart.
Well, I think they'll tell us that the script is done. They're going to start, shooting, and maybe we'll see a set. That's my guess.
Nice.
Nothing else. I may be a release window, like, hey, this will come out Christmas 2022 or summer 2022 or something.
And Ryan
like that.
Reynolds is back for it.
Totally. He's way back. Yeah, I think he's
way back.
He's doing the presentation. He's like, being snarky, being a little too
so
edgy.
Funny. Yeah. Is this
Don't
a kid's
be too
movie?
edgy, Ryan. This is a family movie.
Yeah, got it.
Remember when Pikachu swore in the trailer for the Detective Pikachu movie?
There are so many things that don't make sense.
My mom texted me. She said, I knew it. I knew Pokemon was inappropriate.
It's bad. And you're like, it's not, Mom. It's Ryan Reynolds.
My parents always let me play Pokemon. They were nice parents. I think we are going to get the release date and a trailer, because they did announce that there is a Detective Pikachu game coming to the Switch. That was a while ago, almost, I believe, a year and like 9 months ago we saw that. That would have been that May 2019 presentation they talked about it. I think they will show a little bit more of new Pokemon Snap. I don't think anything substantial. I think we'll get like another Pokemon Direct directly on Snap before that comes out.
Okay.
I think your prediction's good. I think we will get Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'm going to say it's Explorers DX, a remake of the DS game. What'll be announced, and we'll get a release window. Let's just say, I'm throwing this in on the spot, summer 2021.
Wow.
They'll tell us more about Pokemon Unite, their Dota style game that no one wants, but will still make $100 million.
Yep.
I think we'll get a release window for that finally. And then I think their big closer, I think everyone, all the people on the internet are crossing their fingers for the remake of Gen 4, and instead they're going to announce Pokemon Let's Go Meryl and Let's Go Togepi, a remake of Gen 2 in the style of the Let's Go games that all the hardcore fans don't like.
Yeah.
But I will be excited for that, and I will play that with my daughter. And those are all my predictions. I guess my only other one is I don't think we'll hear any news about Pokemon Sleep. Do you know that this was a project, Zach?
No. Remember, I am the Pokemon failure
amateur.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. And so teach all of us what you're talking about.
Pokemon Sleep is a project they announced, I believe, in that same May 2019 presentation. They haven't talked about it since then. I think this game is flat out canceled, but they said they were going to gamify sleep in the same way that Pokemon Go gamified walking. And like they brought the Niantic team out on the stage to be like, Niantic's going to work on it with us. And I think Niantic was like, sure. And they had no idea what this is going to be. And they're like, we're just coming on stage to say hi. I don't think that's actually going to happen. I think that is completely canceled. I think whoever presented that game is now no longer working for the company. No offense. I'll play if Pokemon Sleep comes out. I'll play it and review it for the game. For the show.
How would you review if you're asleep? How do you know how it went?
I'll wake up. I'll sleep and be awake.
Sleep,
I don't know. I have no idea.
Up again.
Who knows how this game is going to work out? I really do not know. But Zach, it is time for those are our predictions. And by the time you're watching this, maybe you'll be able to see how right we are. You can tweet at us, text us. Zach's phone number is we've never exchanged numbers, Zach. Is that a weird thing for us to say? We don't have each other's phone numbers.
Well, you're putting me on the spot here to try to explain why I've never given you my phone number.
Well, I've never given you my phone number either.
I think that there's just so many ways to communicate. We talk to each other once a week we stare at each other's faces for over an hour. Mm-hmm. So how much more do we really need?
What do we really need to talk to one another?
You do
not at all is
more?
the answer. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up on the screen. It's time for God to elucidate them all. I'm going to bring up on the screen a coin during this season, Zach is going to be heads. I'm going to be tails. Basically, we're going to flip a coin to see who is going to elucidate what Pokemon we're talking about today. Both Zach and I know. And when we do that, we are able to say, talk whatever we want for 30 seconds about this Pokemon, but we can't say the name. We can't say any other Pokemon's name, and we can't say the word cute. Those are the rules.
Fine.
But I'm going to flip right here. It's setting on tails right now, but we got to flip it. See if it lands on heads or tails. Heads for Zach, tails for me. Tails.
Finally.
I have a difficult one today to do this, but I'm going to try and make this work. Stand up, make this task take place.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the Pokemon on the screen in 3, 2, 1. All right. So this purple buddy is a bit of a blob, kind of like a goo substance. Got little dot eyes, has a creepy One Punch Man style smile. And outside of that, he's a blob. Once again, much to describe his blobbish nature. Certainly a blob.
Yep.
And I must add, this guy's a blob.
Wow.
All right. Those are my 30 seconds.
Good job. Did you by chance say what color this blob is?
I did say he was purple at the beginning. Okay, I said he was purple.
Was so quick.
If he were shiny, he'd be blue. And I'm saying he, but you know what? He is, or they are of indistinct gender. They never, I believe, have a gender. But who's that Pokemon, Zach?
Who's that Pokemon? It's Ditto.
Ditto. Yes, it is, my good man. A very interesting, unique Pokemon. Zach, give me some of your thoughts on Ditto before we dive too far into this.
Unique, an interesting term to use for something that has no distinct qualities of its own, but can copy anything, right? Sure. So, I mean, that's kind of unique, but is it unique by definition? I mean, I feel like it's not. It's the opposite of unique, because you can only blend in. You can only be something else. Because when you're yourself, you're nothing.
Like classic Jim Carrey or classic Robin Williams, where he's just doing like an impression a minute and he's switching and his face is radically different. That's what Ditto is. He's just a great impressionist,
a great comedian. That's what he is, doing a great job.
Whenever I see Ditto, I gotta laugh.
I mean, I would say yes. I have some things that I'm going to roll out as we go through the podcast. But in the essence of, Ditto just makes you smile. I'm going to pop this up here for us.
Okay.
Just because this is something that I'll say. This is where that's true. Ditto makes you smile. Here's Ditto being I think it's a Machoke, maybe Machamp. I'm not sure, but here he is.
Yes.
I mean, that makes you smile. He has little eyes there. He's just, big and strong.
For the listener only, Ditto, in this particular iteration of Ditto taking on the look of this Machoke, he has not changed his eyes or his mouth. So he just has little dot eyes, which are very cute.
Yeah. So there you go. I would say, he's a cute guy doing his thing. Now, the evidence I have further as we discuss Ditto, I will prove the opposite, and I will be open with you and all of our listeners and viewers. I think Ditto is the most terrifying of all Pokemon in their ability and everything about them. And that will influence my power rating, and that will influence my desirability rating, my Pokeball decision. So,
Zach, I have plenty of stuff planned, but let's dive into your sheer hatred and disgust of Ditto.
It's all centered around actually what you commented on that makes him cute when Ditto becomes this Machoke. The eyes and the mouth, right? You look at that and you go, that's cute. But as we recently were talking about in what may come out in the future, a Detective Pikachu movie in the future.
Yes. Spoiler alert for Detective Pikachu. I'm just going to toss that in right now because I can tell where this is going.
Yes. I was about to say, I feel like you might be able to tell where I'm going with this. But spoiler alert for Detective Pikachu. It comes out at near the end of the movie that one of the human characters the whole time has been a Ditto. And I want to pull up one picture. They're in sunglasses the whole time, and they pull off the sunglasses, and this is what we see. This right here.
Yeah, this is horrifying. I agree with you.
This right here is what happens, and you begin to understand the power that is a Ditto, but also just the pure terror of those dead horror eyes, these little beady eyes. And then I think it gets only worse as you consider this. That right there. And this is the next picture of that same character, tilted head, pure horror movie.
Yeah, Zach is pulling up what appears to be a live action picture of the movie Coraline.
Yes, the bead eyes.
Yeah, just very beady eyes on the actress who plays the main love interest in Detective Pikachu, because Ditto turns into her. I agree with you, Zach. This is horrifying. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I agree with you that Ditto is horrifying in the Detective Pikachu movie, but I think we have to take into consideration Ditto's history, because I think there is strong evidence that Ditto is the result of scientists trying to play God.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
It's time for Pokespiracy. We've dived into this before, and Zach and I both agreed that Genghis Khan was this is the last time we dove into this, which I think is like our second episode, third episode, something like that. We said Genghis Khan was we both agree was originally planned to be the third evolution of Cubone. And then they changed it last minute because it was too grim to know the mommy whose face you're wearing when you're Cubone.
Yeah.
But here's another fan theory that has so much evidence behind it that I agree with it. I think I'm already at the point where I think it's true, which is that Ditto is the result of failed scientific experiments to try to create Mew. So essentially, Ditto is the proto version of Mewtwo. When they were trying to build Mewtwo, Ditto is just the blobby result of that. And here's several results. I got these from fantheories.fandom.com. Just several points of evidence showing that Ditto is most likely a failed attempt to make a Mew.
Okay.
Mew and Ditto share almost identical colors for their normal and shiny variants, which is pink and blue respectively.
Yep.
Colors.
100%. I mean, the case is building.
You always confuse me with my father because we're the same color.
It's same. This is the same. They're the same color. So they're the same.
Mew and Ditto share a common weight of 8.8 pounds.
Okay, that's interesting though.
Exactly the same. And it's not like 9 or something. It's not like they're rounding or anything. 8.8.
Okay.
Mew and Ditto, as I mentioned earlier, are both genderless. Now, most of the Pokemon, they got genders. Kind of like most people. But, we get the occasional genderless.
Okay. So that's you got that. Ditto. That's a number 3 for
this seems likely. Sure.
Maybe.
Mew and Ditto's base stats are leveled across the board. I don't know if you remember this from Mew, where every single one of his base stats are sitting at 100. Similar is true with Ditto, where all of its base stats are the same across the board. Yes, I mean they're definitely lower, and that's what science can't replicate. God's
Mew. God's
strength.
You can't do the Mew.
Mew and Ditto are the only Pokemon who can naturally learn Transform, and technically both can learn any move. Now, Ditto learns any move by copying them from other Pokemon, while Mew can just naturally learn all of those.
Did you say Transform, though? So, wait. So Mew can pretend to be any Pokemon?
Mew can learn Transform, because Mew can learn any move.
Okay. I mean... interesting.
Ditto's appearance is that of a scientific blob, as mentioned earlier. He's a blob. Mewtwo's bio, short for biography, states it's the only successful clone of Mew, alluding to more than one attempt. And then finally, it was implied that Mewtwo was created on Cinnabar Island, where Ditto can be found and caught. They got a lot of evidence, Zach. I know this is all conjecture. I know, Professor Oak hasn't, admitted to his crimes against humanity.
Professor Oak?
Yeah.
Is he the one that made Mewtwo? Man. I don't think he did that. Let's not drag him into it. Just because he's professor, just because he's a smart guy.
If he's not in on it, Professor Oak needs to be the whistleblower. He knows.
He knows the truth. If he's not saying anything.
If he does it, then he's
okay.
I think this is very convincing. I knew about this before we did the Ditto episode, before we did this, and I felt convinced from the moment that I heard these details. Zach, tell me where you're at.
I'm furiously looking this up now. Now I'm trying to see Ditto and Mew next to each other. I'm trying to see what. I mean, it's blowing my mind right now. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out, trying to see how it's wrong.
I think it's one of those things like in Star Wars where they'll never ever confirm that Anakin was created by Darth Plagueis, aka the Emperor.
Yeah.
Like they'll never confirm that he's like his like kind of dad, but it's like everyone knows it. I think this is the same sort of deal where it's just like Ditto was a bunch of failed scientific experiments to be Mew, but they'll never ever come out and be like, they don't want to get into like, hey, the scientists in this world are genetically, morally compromised. Like, they never want to get to that.
Wow. Well, now I'm looking at this thing, and now they're saying that Ditto is a pile of sludge related to Grimer now. I mean, now we're going crazy. About? Look at this.
Get your conspiracy theories out of here. We only have room for one
conspiracy theory. Starts with like a Garbodon, gets into a Grimer that can move into coughing, but also might become a pile of sludge that's a Ditto, and then will become a Mew? I mean, I don't know, but now I'm a little bit... I mean, look at this chart here and tell me if you are not... Don't
pull up your QAnon style chart.
You're not convinced of this
where it's going to pull up like
chart.
Something from the Dead Sea Scrolls to say why.
Oh, wait. No. I'm reading it backwards. So there's Mew. And if Mew is messed up, it becomes Ditto. And then when Ditto gets completely messed up and its DNA is polluted, it loses the ability to transform, becomes a full pile of sludge.
Zach's
transforming.
Brought up a chart that is essentially saying that Slimer, I was going to say Slimer. I would have lost my Pokemon card. That Grimer, wheezing, coughing, Garbodor, Trubbish, all these Pokemon are the result of pollution, essentially, of Ditto being polluted and then turning into these trash Pokemon. I'm unconvinced. You can take this off the screen. Get out. No,
I'm going to leave it there forever because this is the most true thing. If you think about it, if you think about the truth, don't blind yourself to the truth, okay? Because now that I know that Ditto is a failed experiment, what else aren't they telling us?
This is true.
What other Pokemon are not just natural Pokemon? It's because of man's interference in nature. We already know that's what coughing is. We've already talked about that. We haven't talked about Grimer Slimer yet, but you know what? We are definitely not going to get to Garbodon anytime soon.
We'll get to Garbodor one day,
3 years from now. But it's all connected. It's all connected. You can see it. It's all connected together, and it's all because of these evil scientists. There is a secret world in Pokemon, and that's going to be the next. That's the next announcement. That's the next game. Is we have to destroy them all.
Okay, we're Pepe on Sylvia, calm down. What did our team name? Team Conspiracy.
Team Conspiracy. It's the new team.
You haven't kept up with it, Zach. The last team in Pokemon. I know people have their thoughts on it. Team Yell. It is just a toxic fan base. Like that's what they've turned these things into. Like there's no longer like these evil organizations. What's the one before that? It's just like a bunch of like lonely teens. Like hanging out.
The last one that I played that I can remember was what's after X and Y?
After X and Y is Sun and Moon.
So maybe it's X and Y. That's the last one that I can remember. And that's like Team Magma and something else, right? Maybe. But there's like big things. They're trying to like resurrect ancient Pokemon to destroy the world or something.
Yeah, that's Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. That's Magma and Aqua, I believe. Yeah. Something along those lines.
And so now we're saying what the teams are just like
they're just like teens hanging out. Yeah, totally. Zach, it's time to play the trading card game move game. Now, of course, in the games, Ditto can learn one move, transform, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But it's the trading card game. You know, you want people to collect these cards. Ditto needs more than that.
Yeah.
So he has some other moves. I'm going to read a bunch of move names to you. I want you to tell me if they're real or fake. And I'll tell you how you did at the end, okay?
Yeah, got it.
All right. Number 1, this is a freebie for you. Transform.
You say it's a freebie, but now I'm doubting it. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's not even one of the moves in the cards. I think true. Next.
Okay. Copy.
Crap. Now it's already it's over with. I'm not going to get any of these now. False.
Okay. Amazing transformation.
Oh my gosh. No way. This is the worst quiz I've ever taken. True.
Okay. Form variation.
Stop it. Stop it right now. This is oh my gosh. True.
Okay. Duplicate.
Get out of. Okay. True.
Metamorphosis gene.
True.
Okay. Copy anything.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna say true to all of them because this is such nonsense.
And finally, max transform.
That sounds super cool. False.
Okay, the only ones you missed were the 2 you said false on. Those are all real.
They're all true. I knew it was going to be all true.
It's hard to hide that because I didn't want to keep saying true every time.
So here's the thing. So we're saying that he only has one move. That's what it is.
I will say there's one. There's a very cool set of Pokemon cards that they came out with where Ditto is essentially you pick up a Ditto card, but they come in like 5 variations, and it's like Ditto as Mr. Mime, Ditto as Charmander, Ditto as Squirtle, Ditto as Pikachu.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's just like, so his moves are like, I want to say that's duplicate, and then he has like whatever move correlates with the type of Pokemon he is right there. He has like Thunderbolt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But really like them. They're cool. And then finally, I want to do very quickly, just because I had this idea. If you don't have one, that's fine. Pokemon producer. If you wanted to make a Ditto game, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is Hitman, but it's only the stealth stuff. It's only
that's
like
exactly what I was going to go to.
It's only like you can dress up like the other person because it's Ditto. You know, Ditto doesn't have the highest stats or anything like that. Ditto's not going to win a fight, but Ditto gets, you know, he turns into the waiter. The waiter goes to the back of the restaurant, and he's meeting with the chef, and he's going to deliver food to a table of a very important Hoenn politician.
Yeah.
And the chef is like, "Hey, you're wearing your apron backwards," and Ditto can just say "Ditto" in like a nice enough way that he wins. He gets to deliver the poison to the politician.
Let me take your idea and make it 100 times better.
Okay.
And you're gonna love it. This is what it is. It's a like a sneaking game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the Goose Game that came out last year.
Untitled Goose Game. But you're Ditto, and so you can like transform into stuff, but it's like that the type of like it's like really like physics based movement kind of stuff. And so whenever you turn into something, like you turn into a person, but like you're kind of like you walk you're
like
still a blob.
You're kind of like a blob person, like moving around, but you're trying to like sneak through to like escape in different like areas or whatever, or you have like some kind of like simple goal or whatever. So it's like sneaking, but you're trying to like use the environment, kind of blob into different stuff so people like don't see you or whatever. And it could just be silly, cute, fun. Everybody's all about that Ditto game.
I love it.
Untitled Ditto Game.
Untitled Ditto Game. I love it. Zach, that's a good name. I'd play that. You get the team behind Goose Game on that. You get them to partner with Game Freak. That's money.
Let me do an email right here.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you for sending that via email. Please send that to the patent office. Patent ideas for Pokemon, an IP we don't own.
Can I patent an idea for a copyrighted material?
I have an idea for a Pikachu game. If they make one of those, I'm suing. patent hounds. They are an issue. Zach, it's time for the Pokeball decision. This is the time of the show, the part of the show, where we assign a Pokeball for this Pokemon, depending on how badly we want it. We can give it Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, Master Ball. We also have the option to flee or throw a rock. Zach, what are you going to do?
I thought I knew what I would decide at the very beginning because I find it terrifying.
Yep.
And the ability is astounding. But now I just tricked myself with Untitled Ditto Game, as well as I'm feeling kind of bad for this really abused creature that exists as a mistake of science. But even though it's a mistake, you know what you always see on a Ditto's face?
A smile.
Big old smile, you know? So now I'm going to do
what man has meant for evil, God will use for good.
Yeah, you know,
in this scenario, me and you just catching this Pokemon.
I'm going to catch him. I'm going to make sure I catch him with an Ultra Ball. I'm just going to get this
Wonderful.
guy. Yeah.
I am going to go Great Ball. I think you want a Ditto on your team, and I think the moment that you see a Ditto, you say, I got to get this guy.
Yeah. But
I don't find him being at the front line. I think it's more of a cool ability than one that's like endlessly useful. I think, you know, you would rather like stack your team with the monsters that you have, the big boys, and Ditto's just one that you got to make sure that you have on your team. You want to collect them. So Great Ball from me. But with that, Zach, it is time for the Pokemon Power Ranking, what we've named our show after. This is our 27th main episode of the Pokemon Power Podcast, and reading through the list has become unwieldy. If you'd like a refresher on the entire list, you can check our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, all at Pokepowpod, where we post the updated Power Ranking weekly. I'm going to pull this up in front of us for the listener. The Power Ranking is going up, but I think we're going to have a very short conversation for a very controversial decision, Zach. Do you mind if I share where I think he should go?
I mean, I want you to share for sure, but I think that in some of your previous statement, you've already kind of stated that he's low stat. He's mostly a party trick. Like, I want him, I need to have him, but for like the scenarios outside of anything where power is needed in a power ranking or a power in my life or battle. So go ahead.
I think Ditto. It'll be difficult, but I think we should do it. I think Ditto should permanently sit at the absolute middle of the list.
And so we always just move it around to make sure that he's always in the exact middle.
So I think we would move him. We have 26 on the list. This will be 27, which I think we should put him at 14. So there's 13 above, 13 below.
Yeah.
And I think we should basically keep him right dead center because his power is basically, it comes down to the trainer that's using him. He's not like Slowpoke or Shelter where it's just like, okay, these are Pokemon that are just, the gutter tier level. He's one that, if you know what you're doing with them, you can beat your opponent. If you know better than your opponent does with a Ditto, you win. But if your opponent knows better than you, they're going to take you down. So I think it all comes down to that trainer knowledge. So I think right dead center is where Ditto should go.
I'm fine with it. That's an easy fight for me because I thought you were going to say far lower because with a base stat of 45 and the topping out at nothing. So
I think he deserves a spot in the middle. I think, if this is the real world, you want a Ditto on your team. You want to make sure that he's tricking your opponents.
Yeah.
Zach, what would you want to say in closing? We're closing our show out. We're going to enter into big Pokemon news tomorrow. We'll have Pokemon stuff for people to see throughout the week, I guess. Maybe, who knows?
Big stuff. I think that if there's a Pokemon conspiracy, you guys should figure it out. And that's my words to you is just don't believe everything you hear when Pokemon tells you something that, maybe it's all because of evil scientists. And I'm still looking at this chart. I still have it open. I don't know if I'll ever close this tab with this little picture on it. We'll make sure to put a link to it somewhere just so everybody can find it and everyone can find the truth. Find the truth.
Zach is going to get us deplatformed for trying to share misinformation.
Trying to share about Pokemon conspiracies. Canceled. You cannot believe anything.
this conspiracy theory. Maybe I shouldn't have shared it. I was wrong to do so about evil scientists. I slandered Professor Oak's good name, and for that I am very sorry. Yeah. Anyway, thoughts and prayers, especially for you, President Cyrus of Team Galactic, Party Galactic. I'm so sorry.
Party Galactic.
As always, the Pokemon Power Podcast would like to thank Bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net, Cerebi.org, and Dr. Lava YT. If you'd like to learn more about Pokemon, those would be a great resource for you. If you'd like to ask us a question about next week's Pokemon, submit a game, keep up with the podcast. If you want to talk about these Pokemon Presents, these Nintendo Directs for Pokemon we're going to be watching, just reach out. Zach and I are just a click on the social media away.
Right there.
You can find us on most social media platforms at Pokepowpod. And as always, if you were a Pokemon, we'd choose you. Have a great week.
Bye.